Hi everybody, in this video we are going to discuss about the human health and diseases, and in this video the topic that we are going to discuss is about human species of Plasmodium, and types of malaria that they cause. And in the previous video we discussed that there could be how many types of Plasmodium species? 4 types of Plasmodium species. So here we will be discussing about those 4 different types of Plasmodium species that are responsible for causing the disease called as malaria. So the first malarial parasite that is coming under the Plasmodium species is the Plasmodium vivax. Okay, Plasmodium vivax. So this is the first Plasmodium species which will be causing what? Malaria, So this Plasmodium vivax is the most common species which is present in India and responsible for causing the disease malaria. So it is most common in India. So Plasmodium vivax is most common in India and it is less common in Africa. And incubation period. So here the word incubation period. What do you mean by the word incubation period? Incubation period means from the time the microorganism or the parasite enters inside into the body and expresses its disease causing characteristics, signs and symptoms, it is called as the incubation period. Okay, incubation period. So the incubation period, the incubation period is of how many days? It is of 14 days. So after the entry of this particular pathogen, inside into the body, after 14 days, it will be showing the signs and symptoms of the malarial disease. So incubation period of Plasmodium vivax is 14 days, and this is very important for your objective part. Okay, for your objective part, very important period. Okay, that is incubation period. You have to keep in mind that is 14 days. And type of malaria, we call it as what? Benign tertian. Okay, benign tertian. Okay, benign tertian. We call it as what is the type of malaria that is caused by the Plasmodium vivax? We call it as benign tertian. Okay, benign tertian. And the next one is recurrent of fever. So recurrent of fever is also called as paroxysms. Okay, paroxysms. Okay, please remember this word. Paroxysms means recurrent of fever, means at how many days interval, this fever will be caused. Okay, recurrent of fever. See here, fever is one of the symptoms of the malarial disease. Okay, malarial disease. So it will not be, the fever may not be there throughout the day. So it may be different in the period of day. Okay, it may be for few hours, or maybe after 1 or 2 days it will be appearing. Fever will be appearing showing high fever. So that we are calling as what? Recurrent of fever. So here another word for recurrent of fever is paroxysms. After every 48 hours. Okay, after every 48 hours, which means every third day. Okay, every third day, it will be showing high fever. Okay, it will be responsible for showing high fever. So recurrent of fever means what? Paroxysms. After every 48 hours, means after completing 48 hours, 2 days, the next third day it will be showing fever. That we are calling it as a recurrent of fever. So with which we can say that it may be because of what? Plasmodium vivax. So here these points, among these points, please remember the incubation period. Okay, the incubation period and the recurrent fever. Okay, recurrent fever are very important for your objective purpose. And we have to remember all these points regarding the Plasmodium vivax. So the next disease is, the next microbe or the Plasmodium species is the Plasmodium falciparum. So here this is the second one, Plasmodium falciparum, and it is a very important one and we have to keep it in mind. Okay, the second one is very important one because it is the greatest killer of human beings in Africa and elsewhere in tropics, which means this is the deadliest species of the Plasmodium, which can cause death to the human beings. So that's why we have to make note of this, that amongst the 4 that we are discussing, Plasmodium falciparum is very important and deadliest one, which can cause the death to many human beings. So here Plasmodium falciparum, the second type of the Plasmodium species. It is common in certain parts of India only. But the first one we said Plasmodium vivax is most common in India. But here this one is common in certain parts of India only. And here this is the point. Okay, it is the greatest killer of human beings. It is the greatest killer of human beings in Africa and elsewhere in tropic regions. Okay, it is the greatest killer of human beings. Means many people are dead or killed by this particular species called as the Plasmodium falciparum, responsible for causing malaria. Responsible for causing malaria. So this point is important for us. And now, as we said, the next one is incubation period. Incubation period. Already we said what is incubation period. From the time the microbe enters inside of the body and until it expresses its signs and symptoms, we call it as what? Incubation period. So its incubation period is about 12 days. Its incubation period is about 12 days. So here after 12 days it starts showing the signs and symptoms of malaria. Signs and symptoms of malaria. And the type of malaria, the name that is given for this type of malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum is malignant tertian malariae. Malignant tertian malariae. So we have to remember in objective there will be touching this area also. This area also will be touched, confusing with the types of Plasmodium species about their incubation period or about the types of malaria, the names given for the types of malaria or the recurrent of fever. The recurrent of fever. So that's why we should be very careful. So here the next one is what? Recurrent of fever. Recurrent of fever. How often the person will be suffering with the fever? That's the meaning over there. How often the person will be suffering with the fever? Otherwise what we call it as paroxysm. So instead of giving this word recurrent of fever, they may use the other technical term called as paroxysms. Okay, paroxysms. So paroxysms means what? Recurrent of fever. After how often or after how many hours the fever will be caused to that particular person? It is after every 48 hours. It is after every 48 hours. It is the same as the first one. It is the same as the first one. After every 48 hours, the fever will be attacked. Means what? Every third day. Okay, it is every third day. It will be causing what? Fever. Every third day. Okay, every third day it will be causing fever. Okay, it will be causing high fever. It will be causing high fever. So here we have to remember all these points again. So the second type of the Plasmodium species which is responsible for causing malaria is Plasmodium falciparum, and it is very, very important among the four that we are discussing now. Okay, Plasmodium falciparum, which is a very dangerous species of the Plasmodium, causing death to many individuals. It is the greatest killer. Okay, it is the greatest killer. And its incubation period is of how many days? 12 days. And the type of malaria is called as malignant tertian malariae. And recurrent of fever. Recurrent of fever. After every 48 hours, okay, the person will be suffering with what? Fever. That means every third day the person will be suffering with the fever. And now we are going to discuss about the third one. Okay, we are going to discuss about the third one. So the third one we are going to discuss about is Plasmodium malariae. Plasmodium malariae. So the next one is Plasmodium malariae. The next one is Plasmodium malariae. This is the third type of Plasmodium species which is responsible causing malaria. Which is responsible for causing malaria. Now Plasmodium malariae. Okay, Plasmodium malariae. It is common in tropical Africa, Burma and Sri Lanka. It is common in tropical Africa, Burma and Sri Lanka. And it is present in only parts of India. And the point is, we are saying, and parts of India, it is there, that is identified only in certain parts of India. And please remember, that's why we can note that it is very less common in India. It is less common in India. Okay, it is less common in India. And the same points. What is the incubation period of this particular Plasmodium malariae? It is 28 days. It is about 28 days. So after entry of this particular microorganism or the pathogen, malarial parasite called as Plasmodium malariae, It takes about 28 days to express the signs and symptoms and cause the malaria. And it is this Plasmodium malariae which is discovered by the scientist Lavron. Okay, please remember, Plasmodium malariae is discovered by the scientist Lavron. Okay, so we already said Lavron discovered the protozoan. Okay, protozoan which is responsible for causing malaria. Malarial protozoan parasite, that is protozoan, that is nothing but we said Plasmodium. So Lavron is the scientist who discovered Plasmodium, we said. So what is that Plasmodium means? It is Plasmodium malariae. Plasmodium malariae. So it is taking how much period? Incubation period 28 days. And what is the type of malaria? The name given for this type of malaria caused by Plasmodium malariae, it is called as quartan malaria. Quartan malaria. So the first one we said it as what? The first one, okay, when we are talking about the Plasmodium vivax, benign malaria. Then malignant tertian malaria, the second one, Plasmodium falciparum. Third one it is called as what? Quartan malaria. Quartan malaria. And recurrent of fever. Now here is the difference, okay, recurrent of fever. It is taking about 72 hours, which means after 3 days, of every 4th day, it will be showing the symptoms, okay, fever, high fever it will be showing. Every 4th day means recurrence of fever will be about after 72 hours. So means every 4th day it will be showing the fever, okay, it will be showing the fever. And very important thing is that it is this Plasmodium malariae which is also responsible in causing malaria or infects, okay, responsible for infecting other primates, okay, responsible for infecting other primates, okay. So here is an interesting point that we have to remember, okay. Plasmodium malariae is also infecting other primates, it is also responsible or having the ability to infect other primates. So this point is a crucial point for us, okay. This is the only species which can infect other primates, So here these are some more points that we have to keep in mind when we discuss about the third one called as what? Plasmodium malariae, discovered by whom? Lavron, okay, discovered by Lavron. And please note that it is very less common in what? In India, okay. In India it is very less common and its incubation period is about 28 days, and the type of malaria called as quartan malaria, recurrent of fever called as what? Paroxysms. Also it is about 72 hours and the fever will be appearing every 4th day. And this is the only malarial parasite known as what? Plasmodium malariae, which is having the ability to infect other primates. And we are going to discuss the fourth one, the last one, as the Plasmodium ovale, okay, Plasmodium ovale, okay. That is the fourth one which we are going to discuss about the Plasmodium ovale. And the next one, the last one is Plasmodium ovale, okay, Plasmodium ovale. So this is the next, the fourth type, the last type of Plasmodium species which is responsible for causing malaria, And this Plasmodium ovale is mostly found in tropical Africa. And usually it is not seen in India. So usually not seen in India. Usually it is not seen in India. And its incubation period is about 14 days. And the type of malaria that is named as, mild tertian malariae. Okay, mild tertian malariae. It is the type of malaria here. It is called as what? Mild tertian malariae. And the fever may be very, very mild. Okay, that is shown by that particular individual suffering with the malaria, because the fever is very mild, and very mild means very less, low fever will be shown, and it is not so serious as we have seen with the other 3 types of Plasmodium species. And here that's why we say that instead of using the word recurrent of fever, because it is very mild, we are using another point that is important regarding the Plasmodium ovale, is that this Plasmodium ovale is the rarest. It is rarest among the 4 species. among the 4 species which is very rare, very less that is present is the Plasmodium ovale. It is the rarest among the 4 species and can cause mild symptoms of malaria and may not be so life threatening. So this is the 4th one that we have to keep in mind when we talk about the Plasmodium ovale or Plasmodium species. The 4th one is Plasmodium ovale. So these are all the 4 different types of species that we have to keep in mind, based on which objective questions will be asked. So today we have studied about what? Human species of Plasmodium. How many species are there? 4 different types of species, and they are causing 4 different types of malaria, and we have completed the human species of Plasmodium and types of malaria, and we will continue in the next video about the life cycle of the malarial parasite, how it is completing its life cycle in the female Anopheles mosquito and in the human beings, okay, and how it will be completing its life cycle in human beings. We are going to discuss in the next video. Thank you.